Hi everyone, happy Tuesday to you. It's Andrea and Ashley here over at the Sewspire Sewing Studio. I hope you all had a beautiful week. I can't even really believe how fast this week has gone. I think here my little welcome to everybody didn't post. We're still learning how to do this, and you may notice from the title, this is actually going to be our very last live stream. True. Do you want to tell them why, Ash?
Well, this is going to be the last live stream because YouTube actually has updated some of their policies. So they're going to allow you to upload pre-recorded content and then also still chat in live time with that content. So since she's taking on so many new projects, including the masterclass, that's going to be much more convenient than always doing it at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays.
And so the main benefit for you all with that is because I publish that content at all different times, what I'll do is whenever I'm going to upload like a tutorial or a studio update, which I'm changing the name of too, and I have to update you on that. But when I publish those videos, then I'm just going to plan to set aside 30 to 45 minutes and be live with you. So you won't see me, but they'll have the chat stream and you can ask your questions. We can watch the tutorial together. So it really is, they just announced this at, it's called VidCon, which is a huge YouTube event annually, or they do
Yes, they do it once a year.
Okay, so I was really excited to see that, and recently I've been subscribing to a YouTube creator channel and learning a lot about YouTube as a platform. It is very impressive. But before we get too far into what's going on here in the studio, we must do what's in your mug. And I'm gonna let Ashley start.
So I have a black tea in my mug, and I always love the little mantras that they put on the tags of these yogi teas. And this one says, walk beautifully, talk beautifully, and live beautifully.
And I obviously understand that. I made the tea for us, and it's a refreshing mint vital energy. It is black tea, but I got a sneak peek at these little tea bags. I have no idea what mine means.
What does it say?
I'm going to share it with y'all, but I was like, rarely, if ever, do I go, huh? What does that mean? So you guys are going to interpret this. I know our friends in London drink tea much more gracefully than we do. Do you know how I do it? I never take the tea bag out.
Neither do I.
It's so wrong, right? Okay, so back to the tea bag. It says, and I want y'all to explain this to me, and hopefully you understand. Love is an experience of infinity. Anyone? Do you have even a guess?
I would say that means it goes on and on. It's never ending.
It doesn't go on forever.
Well, that's what the mug says.
I don't know. What do you think, ladies? And what's in your mug? Is anybody telling us?
Yes, we have Coke with ice cubes, a vanilla Earl Grey latte. We have lemon ginger tea, water, English breakfast tea, and Italian roast coffee.
Well, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
In Italy. All right.
That would be fun.
That would be very cool. Okay. Any questions right off the bat?
Nope.
If you all have any questions, go ahead and post them now. We went way long on that last live stream, so this one won't be as long. While we're waiting for questions, I'm going to back up and add a little more detail to the how many days you have until you leave.
So we have 5 weeks until I move away from Virginia. So we're halfway because I started with 10 weeks.
Mm. Yeah. We're halfway?
Yeah.
Sadness. Okay, so I told you all I was in denial. We went mug shopping, and I don't know if you can see these. These mugs are absolutely amazing. They're like a stoneware, and they have this huge handle on them. This really is the best mug design I have ever found, and they're so hot and wonderful to hold. But we were mug shopping, and we found these really cute mugs that said something nice about being a mother and said something nice about being a daughter, right? and it just hit me. We're in the Hallmark, and I was like, we can't buy these mugs. I don't want to see your daughter mug sitting there and you're gone. And then I'm just going to be crying.
At least you'd have the
So-
mug to catch your tears.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is no good, which is part of the reason why we're going to go ahead and make this our last live stream too, because we're at the halfway mark. She has been amazing, amazing. We've been able to accomplish so much. We totally revamped the 4-seam. We launched the design workshop, which I want to tell you more about because that's filling up. So I want to give you the days that are still open. What else
The
did we do?
newsletters.
Oh yes, we've got great formats for the newsletters, both at the 4-seam and here at Sewspire, which we call behind the seams. We've got to do experiment with these live chats. It's been like a whirlwind of activity, but I am not a fool. I know there's no way I can keep this up without her, and I don't want to hire someone to come in to work with me. I've done that before, and it's just not the same. Ashley understands, the mission and the purpose here, and can just kind of zig when I zag. That doesn't happen when you have an employee who doesn't understand your passion or purpose. And I don't have time to train someone and keep all these balls in the air. So I have to prioritize, but I don't want to sacrifice anything that we love. But one way that we can prioritize is by combining the live chat aspect with the actual, what I was formerly calling the studio update or vlog. Now it's just going to be behind the seams. And I don't know, like, if anyone saw the little fabric unboxing that happened. There's a lot of fun stuff that happens in the studio, and it's hard to remember everything that happens and then consolidate it into one video. So I want to do a whole bunch of little bursts, like 5 minutes or less. And those will be, when you see those videos pop up, they'll be behind the scenes, and they'll likely have that chat feature enabled. So I think it's better for everybody. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too.
So anyways, questions?
Not yet.
Okay, super cool. All right, so workshop availability, and I'm going to look over your heads a little bit because I have it on the mirror. Monday is almost full. I'm really surprised. Monday morning and Monday evening, that's a popular day. People like to get on it. Tuesday's about halfway. Wednesday's about halfway. I have a lot of availability on Thursday. So if you want to still get in and potentially be part of a very small group for that design workshop, Thursday would be your day. Registration ends
July 2nd.
Or if it sells out
Right.
before then. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've contacted everyone who's registered so far. They're all thrilled. So I can tell you that the energy for the whole workshop will be very high, because there wasn't a single person who didn't write back to say that they were ecstatic to be a part of it. So Ashley and I are going to be working hard this week and next in preparation for that, and we'll be ready. I need a few volunteers. It doesn't matter if you're signed up for the workshop or not, to help us test Google Hangout, which is the platform that we're using for our video chats. So if you have a flexible schedule and would like to participate and just hang out in a Google, is it called Google Hangout?
Yeah, it's
That's
called
what's
Google
just-
Hangout, and it's a video chat. So basically what it is, it's going to be my mom and 9 other people all video chatting at the same time.
And I think I can see them and they can see me, which is very different than this live stream. I wish I could see all of you. Wouldn't that be a
And
blast?
then another thing too, if you're just tuning into this live stream and didn't see our video from last week, that's when she goes into depth about the master class that we're referring to. So you can always go back and watch that video, that studio update from last week, for more information.
If you go to AndreaChapmanDesigns.com, you can read the overview on what we have planned for that too. And you're welcome to send us an email with questions, and we'll get right back to you. So that's the update on that. Thursday's looking like your best day. If you want to be part of a tiny group, there's of course no guarantee that people won't fill those slots, but right now that's what's happening. I want to thank Tina. Sent me a beautiful card. Do you have? Don't show her address though. Tina is probably on the chat. Do you see Tina on the chat? Sent me a gorgeous card there. Thank you, Tina. Anybody who wants to mail a card, we will put the address in the newsletter. It's at the bottom of every newsletter, but you can also go to sewspire.com. I'll write you back. We're filling up the bulletin board in the office, and it's coming along. It's actually really pretty. It's time for, you're going to put together the newsletter today. Snap a picture of that and show them what it's looking like. And we're also rearranging the office today. Tell me in the comments if you like to move furniture.
Yeah.
Or if you're obsessed with moving furniture. I absolutely love to move furniture, and I haven't really rearranged anything here yet. So we're going to transform the office into storage space because I never go back there anymore. I'm always up here. And then we're going to bring my blue desk, which coincidentally, it was Ashley's blue desk. Originally, it was white though.
It was a white desk. Yeah.
And now it's a blue desk. So we're going to bring it out here and set up another workstation. Any questions?
Yes, you do have one question from Denise. She wants to know, how did you acquire so many members to the closed Sewspire group so fast? Did you do it through the use of other platforms?
Oh, to the closed group? That really is growing very fast. I just welcomed the 400th member. And when did we even launch that? It has not been very long.
It was probably the beginning of May.
And Nikki, I hope you're out there, dear. We haven't seen you. She's our third admin. I hope everything is going well for her. I don't know how it grew. Honestly, it was Nikki's idea. I didn't even know about closed groups on Facebook at all. I really like the platform. I love that you all can kind of interact without me having to be present. And then twice a day, I pop in and try and catch up. I honestly, there's so much activity over there, I can't catch up on all the notifications. Do you keep up with them?
It's very active on the Facebook page.
And I've said it before, and it's worth saying again, the cumulative sewing experience over there is crazy. Way more experience than I have. Some folks, because I see there's 3 questions in order to get accepted to the group, and we do require you to answer those. The folks, if you applied to the group and didn't answer the questions, then we're denied. That's why, and the reason that we do that is because we really want it to be a sewing focused group. But I get to see how many years experience, and we're talking like upwards of 70 years sewing experience for a lot of people, which is amazing. That's not to say if you're brand new to sewing that you shouldn't join. You should, because if you have questions, you can post that and someone's right there to answer you. So I think that's cool. But I don't know how it grew so fast, Denise, but I like it. And I think it's a beautiful community. I think it's all women too.
For the most part, yeah.
Have you seen, except for my husband. He never comments though.
Yeah.
Any other men that you've seen over there?
No, I haven't.
Just ladies sewing and talking about sewing stuff. And boy, do they post some beautiful pictures too. Any other questions?
Yes, you have a question that says, how do you feel about using serger thread in your sewing machine?
You know, I own 2 sergers over there, and I want to get them back out and sew with them. And for the serger, you have to have serger thread, obviously, because it has to be that lighter weight cotton. But it does not work well at all in the sewing machine. I know it's cheaper, and I know it's really tempting to buy that big spool, but when that thread is very weak. And you have to remember with the serger, they're getting both at least 4 times the strength, but on a sewing machine you only have just 25% one spool. So I do not recommend using serger thread in your sewing machine. In fact, if you're going to sew anything that's worth keeping, use good quality thread, and good quality thread is going to cost you $5 or $6 a spool. But good quality fabric costs you 12 bucks a yard. So it's not cheap to sew anymore, guys. It's not. It used to be in the old days that that was a way to save money. It's not. It's actually a pretty expensive hobby. Who agrees with that?
Yeah. Somebody asks, how do I find the closed Facebook group? I cannot find it.
Tell them how,
So if you go to sewspire.com, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little F for Facebook. It's on the left side. You can click on that, and that will go straight to the closed Facebook group. Or if you're subscribed to the newsletter, we do always put it in. So you can also view the newsletter on the Sewspire page, just on if you click behind the scenes, and there is a button that says join the Facebook closed group.
And also too, I just checked and it's in the notes of this video. I don't think you can see the notes yet, but if you check back in like an hour after I publish it to the channel, you'll be able to see that. And I know the link is also in the last 4 or 5 videos
in the
too.
description.
Yep, so you can look there. And maybe even one of you on the chat can copy and paste and share the link. I don't know if the links are hot in the chat or not. Do you want to tell them about your birthday?
Yeah, so I just celebrated my 22nd birthday this past Saturday. And we went out to a winery for the whole day. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
And that we put a picture on Instagram and Facebook for y'all. And I want to say thank you for all the happy birthday wishes for her. You made her feel very welcome. Now tell them the 2 things that I bought you. They're going to be really surprised about the first gift I bought you.
So the first thing she got me was actually one of those giant Vera Bradley duffel bags. I had been wanting one for several years just because I think Vera Bradley's design and her fabric is absolutely beautiful.
Do you know Vera Bradley is not a person?
Oh, really?
Yep. Everybody thinks she's a person. It's a combination of like her mother's name and something else. But Vera Bradley is not an actual person.
Wow.
Yeah. So you wanted a Vera Bradley bag for a long time.
And then the second thing was a really beautiful pad folio by Kate Spade.
Yeah. So anyways, the reason I said you'd be surprised that I paid for a Vera Bradley bag. I actually love designer bags and am happy to spend money to buy them. I learn, of course, and dissect in my mind the design, but I could just appreciate the beauty of the bag. And she was so happy to get it. And in regards to the Kate Spade pad folio, when I gave it to her, I told her that one day you probably are not even going to be able to get her items, and obviously she was a real person. But in honor of her life, remember how precious life is. And I have a rule to always offer a smile and a kind word to every stranger, because you truly don't know who's right there on the edge. Yeah. Any more questions?
You do have a couple of questions.
Go for it.
Someone asks, do you have a general rule of thumb for a pricing formula?
I do. Or I think you're talking about like if you want to sell on Etsy, and I add in materials, time, and I have a set rate that I charge for my time, and then any fees to sell. And so I just add that all up. A lot of people do like ×3 or ×4. And when you use that formula, that'd be great if you could actually get somebody to pay you that. But some things, even ×4 on the materials are already seriously cost prohibitive. But if you wanted to know more about my pricing formula, I go into detail about that at theforseam.com. And for $9.99, you can know literally all of my Etsy secrets. But in a nutshell, that's the formula that I personally use, and it is profitable for me. So I think it does vary, though, depend greatly upon what you're making, because if your materials cost $1, then that formula isn't going to work very good for you if you do the 4 times formula, because you're going to go broke in Etsy fees. Anything else?
Yes. You have a question that says, "What kind of backing slash stabilizer do you use for your embroidering?"
Oh, I'm gonna run over there and get it because I just got a giant bolt of it so I can tell you exactly what it is. And then I'll be right back. I just sent you to get it, Ash. Okay. So I was at the Walmart. I used to buy all my supplies like this, but I was at the Walmart and they had a fresh bolt of this still sealed in the plastic. So I was like, okay, don't unwrap it. And I'm going to take, I think it's 20 yards of this. Yep, 20 yards. Okay, so it's Decor Bond 809 firm iron-on backing. It's $2.77 a yard. There you have it. And I get that out Walmart. I'm sure you can order it on Amazon too. But I was so happy to find a whole bolt of that because I go through that like crazy. So it's just easier to have a lot of it here.
And then going off of that question, somebody else asked, "What embroidery machine do you use?"
So I have the Janome Memory Craft 350E, and I love it.
And that's all I have so far.
Okay, cool. Let's see. How are we doing on time? We're almost there. So let's see. Oh, this was a topic that I wanted to share with you all. How many, I want you to take guesses in the comments. How many hours do you think it takes me from start to finish to produce a 15-minute sewing tutorial? If I let her guess, she'll be cheating. So you tell me when they come up with some answers. And I don't know if I think we got sidetracked. I didn't tell them about testing Google Hangout. So I need volunteers. If you're in the US in our time zone, and you are not signed up for the class or signed up for the class, it doesn't matter either way, and would be willing to help us test Google Hangout, send me an email to sewinginspiration@gmail.com, and we will reply with the date and time of this test Google Hangout, and we'll hang out together for like 10 or 15 minutes. And like Ashley was explaining, you'll see me, I'll see you, you'll see everybody else too.
Yeah.
Who agrees to do this. We can only have 9 people, but I would love it if somebody would be, oh, I see someone volunteer. Thank you, thank you. Did Megan sign on to the chat?
Megan
today?
did not. There are a couple of people who said they would volunteer, but if you would still send it to the email so that way we can keep track of who volunteered first.
Yes, because we need your email address
Yes.
in order to invite you to the chat. And that's on our list. It'll be sometime next week. We'll give you plenty of advance notice via email. And if you can't do it, don't worry. So we'll have a couple extra people in the queue for that. But I really want to make sure we understand how to use that before the class kicks off. Any more questions?
You don't have any questions, but you do have a lot of guesses on how long
Oh, yes.
it takes. So some people say 4 hours, 7 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 90 minutes.
Oh, I wish I could do it in 90 minutes. Man, I'd make one for you guys every day. Total time, start to finish. So I usually make you a prototype first to make sure I actually know what I'm doing. Sometimes there's some sketching beforehand if it's a complex design. And then I work out the material list. Then I record it, edit it, upload it, and then interact, and answer all the questions. And that part's about to get a little bit more time consuming when we do the live, but it'll be worth it. Total time for a 15-minute tutorial is between 5 and 8 hours. So I really set aside a whole day to bring you that one tutorial. So I think sometimes people don't realize with YouTubers how much time and effort and money they put into running a channel. And that's just something that I'm getting more and more of an appreciation for since I to create typically for creators. But I just think that we should probably be grateful. I know you all are extremely grateful, and I'm not saying you're not grateful for the content I produce, but I think, for the other YouTube creators even that I enjoy, and I know Ashley and Megan have a long list of creators that they enjoy and subscribe to. We should just be really grateful for their time out there because everybody, even for short videos, it's an enormous amount of time that you take out of your schedule to do that. So, anyways, just general public service announcement across YouTube there. Anybody else have questions before we say goodbye
Yes,
to you?
we'll end with the last question of how's the yoga bag coming along?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so you all know I had no idea how I even made that thing. I for sure had a pattern. I do remember it being somewhat frustrating and complex. I got the exterior of it done, which I showed you a few live streams back. Was not thrilled with that at all. And what mainly concerned me about it was there are so many pieces and they're angled. And I was like, this is going to take like 5 videos, which would be for me 5 days of work to bring this tutorial together. And then it still might not even be clear because it was so complex. So I was just simmering on that, simmering on that. And like 2 nights ago, I woke up and this is the part that's mysterious to me. Call it divine inspiration, whatever you want to call it. This is this inspiration of Sewspire. I knew how to make the thing. Not it's going to have all the same functionality and features of the bag that I originally showed you, but I know now how to make it and teach it to you so it can be in one video and you'll actually understand how to do it and I can remake it without wondering. So I'm super, super excited about that. I have a class that I have to teach all day Saturday at the Quilt Guild. So I may need one extra day on the tutorial. We may, and I'll let you know, it's only Tuesday, so I'm hoping I can get ahead of schedule. Right now, I'm 2.5 hours behind schedule for this week. And I didn't plan to rearrange the office, so that's gonna put me 3 or 4 hours behind schedule. So I may need an extra day and get that tutorial to you on Sunday, but I am super excited about it. And I think you guys are gonna appreciate that I have simplified it because I think if it was complicated for me and I do this stuff all day long, that it would have been really complicated for most of our audience. So I'm just excited and can't wait to show it to you. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ladies, have a beautiful day. And until we meet again, the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. See ya.
I left like